there, Yogi. How are ya? My name is Crystal Gray, and in today's video, we're going to be doing some arm strengthening and upper body strengthening poses, and it's going to be challenging, I'm not going to lie, all right? But it's going to be really fun, and just have fun with it. If you're starting to feel really tired or, feel like you're pushing yourself too far, just take a break. Just sit back, take a drink, take a child's pose, whatever you need to do. If you could please give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments any sort of videos that you would love to see me create. I would love to do that for you. I love whenever you guys give me content, and it makes me feel like I'm really helping you. But it does help me with the algorithm if you give me a little thumbs up. So thank you so much for doing that. And also, you don't need any props for today. You just need your yoga mat. And even if you don't have a yoga mat, it's all right. You'll be fine. All right, you guys, let's head over to the mat. All right, let's come up towards the front of the mat. We're gonna start standing today in standing mountain pose, Tadasana. So you can bring your big toes together to touch, or you can separate your feet up to about 2 inches apart. That's about as wide as I personally like to go. Okay, whenever I say hip width, usually women especially, they have this idea of like that they have huge hips, right? And they're like this. So that's not the case. So either big toes touching or the bones of the big toes, or a couple inches apart. Okay, from here, lean forward and then bring your hips back so that they're more above the ankles. Lift the toes, spread them apart, and grip them down. Arms down by the sides. Start to breathe here. So as you breathe here, think about drawing your lower belly gently in and up, and as you inhale, expand low ribs, mid ribs, upper ribs. As you exhale, exhale upper ribs, mid ribs, low ribs, and belly. Okay, so you're kind of inhaling up like a upside down triangle, an inverted triangle, and then exhaling down. Okay, so inhale up, expand all the way up, exhale in the reverse, upper, mid, lower. Okay, do that a couple more rounds. Find your gazing point or your drishti to somewhere to stare to help you balance and help you focus. And you guys, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. Or if you ever have any ideas for videos that you would love for me to do, please put it in the comments so that I can create that for you, because I really do want to help you all and see you succeed. Okay, so I want to make sure that you're breathing like this throughout your practice. If there is a time where it's hard for you to breathe, that's a good sign that you just need to take a break or come out of it for a little bit, all right? Let's get started. So exhale, push down into all four corners of the feet. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. You can bend your knees, especially in the beginning, letting your hips, your pelvis tilt forward. Let your arms and head hang. You don't need to be touching the ground. Don't worry about it. Inhale, come halfway up to your monkey pose. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to the first plank. Let's go over some alignment here. Breathe here. I want you to push into your hands and almost pretend like you're rounding that space, that upper back. So your shoulders really puffing up that space in between the shoulder blades. Okay, try not to let the belly hang down. Instead, draw the navel up and lengthen the tailbone, navel towards the spine, so that you're pretty much parallel to the ground from the tip of your tailbone to the crown of your head. So yes, this is working the arms and the shoulders, but also the core. You might feel it there. That's where I feel it. You're gonna generally feel it first wherever you are the weakest. Okay, so inhale, push forward with the toes, bring your knees down. Now, here's the key, you guys. Watch me for a second. Please don't lower down like this. All right, let's build some strength. Don't just skip through that. Let's really build some strength. Elbows point back and see if you can lower in a straight line. The chest might land before the belly. It depends on your body. Uncurl the toes, push into the knuckles. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra. Elbows are bent in cobra. Exhale, lower down. Curl the toes under. Now, we're gonna do something really fun. I call it the inchworm. So you're gonna walk your knees in a little bit, lift your booty up towards the sky, draw the shoulders back. Now see if you can do a couple little push-ups. If you've got some low back issues, you won't wanna do the inchworm, okay? But up, up, up. You might not even lift the chest off the ground, but then see if somehow you can push yourself up to your modified plank, and then hips up and back, downward facing dog. Down dog has never felt so good. Take a couple cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Roll the shoulders away from each other like you're trying to close the armpits. Roll the forearms in, knuckles heavy. Now stay here, or if you want to build some heat, you can do some donkey kicks. You guys, my mat moves all over my floor, so I have to move my mat for my donkey kicks, but you can stay in your down dog or do these donkey kicks. It's going to increase your heart rate. So walk your feet in a couple inches, big toes touch, bend the knees, inhale, look forward at the end of the exhale, little or big hop. Let's do 3. Okay, and then after your third one, you can walk or float to the front of the mat, but I'm gonna give you a challenge. Try not to make a sound when you land. Can you do that? Jump forward, but don't make a sound. Okay, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Woo! Push into the feet. Look out in front of you, lead with the back of the head. As you inhale, rise up, circle the arms out to the sides, overhead. Exhale, let the arms float back down by the sides. Whew. Okay, well, that got me warmed up. That was a one sun salutation, but we did make it a little bit fancy, right? So let's do that again. And let's add on some more stuff. So exhale, push down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to your monkey pose. So wherever you need to go to get a flat back. Exhale, step back to your plank. Navel towards the spine, torso parallel to the ground. Let's push forward with the toes and back. Forward, back. Forward, back. Okay, cool. Stay there or take a break. Or let's come down on the right forearm, left forearm. Right hand up, left hand up. Now we're going to start other side. Left forearm, right forearm. Left hand, right hand. Right forearm, left forearm. Right hand, left hand. One more. Left forearm, right forearm. Left hand, right hand. Oh my gosh. Inhale, push forward, knees down. Keep your form. Exhale, lower down, elbows in, straight line. Uncurl the toes. You're only shorting yourself, you guys, if you roll down. Inhale, lift your chest. It's going to take you longer to build the strength. Exhale, come down. Longer to build the definition. Curl the toes under. Lift the belly first. Inhale, push up. Come on, at least try. Exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Whew. Roll the shoulders away from each other. Roll the forearms in. Bend the knees a little bit so you can push the hips up and back. So you're in a straight line from the wrist all the way up to the hips. All right, come forward to your plank again. Shoulders just a little bit past the wrist. Bring your knees down. Now we're gonna do regular push-ups. Okay, so these are really hard for me because I don't do them very often. I'm gonna scooch up. Your hands are gonna be a little bit wider than your mat. And you're gonna inhale, come down, and you don't wanna go any lower than 90 degrees with the elbows. Exhale up. Inhale. Exhale. I want you to go slow motion. 3 more. 2 more. Okay, down dog or take a break in my favorite resting pose. It's called Vajrasana, Thunderbolt pose. Take a couple breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It might be a cleansing sigh like I just did. In through the nose, out through the mouth on a sigh. All right, now from here, let's do side plank. I'm going to show you some different variations, all right? So just turn so that you're facing me. I am going to mirror you. All right, depending on how you're watching me. So bring the right hand out in front of you. Have your right knee in line with your right wrist, okay? Extend your left foot back. Now I'm going to stack the hips. All right, so the bottom foot, the bent knee, that foot's going to fall behind me like a little kickstand. Stack the hips so that you're opening up the pelvis, you're opening up the chest, and breathe here. This is a great place to stay, all right? If you feel a little shaky or already tired from the practice, because we have already packed in a lot, stay there. Otherwise, bring your left foot in front of you. Then you're gonna push into the left foot and shoot the right foot back so that you're on the knife edge of the back foot. And then lift the hips up. Okay, so you don't want your right ankle touching or the calf, anything like that. Lift the hips. Stay here or stack the feet. Maybe the top arm goes up. So whenever I'm talking about mirroring, if you're watching this on YouTube, I also lead these live in my Facebook group. So if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you come join the Facebook group and maybe you can catch us live. It's the Yoga Goddess Collective. Ooh, you might get shaky, but don't bend the elbow because you'll probably fall. All right, release, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths. If you really want to get crazy and move through a vinyasa on your own, I'm not going to stop you, but I'm not going to do it, all right? Take a couple breaths in your down dog or sit back in your thunderbolt pose. I like to take a lot of cleansing breaths. It's kind of like you're letting go of anything you're working up to the surface. Just let it go. Okay. Now we get to do Vashisthasana on the other side. So come back to your hands and knees. And bring your left hand out in front. Left knee in line with the left wrist. Extend the right foot back. Now let your bottom foot, the knee that's bent, let that foot fall behind you like a kickstand. Stack the hips. Okay, so this left hand is out in front of you a little bit. It's not directly under the shoulder because we want it at a 90-degree angle. And actually, if you lift up like that, see how it's 90 degrees? It's like magic, right? So if it's under the shoulder and you lift up, it's less than 90. Whenever I first saw that, I was like, wow, it's so cool. It's like a magic trick. So stay here, or if you want to feel more, if you need to feel more, bring the left foot out in front, push into the left foot, shoot the bottom foot back. I'm sorry, your right foot's in front, your left foot shoots back. So you're on the knife edge of the left foot. Okay, don't let the ankle come down, flex the foot, push into the heel and the ball of the foot, lift those hips up, stay there or stack the feet. Stay there or top arm goes up. Ideally, you're kind of making a little bit of an arc here. So push into the bottom hand, lift the hips up, 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 up. Smile, oh, and breathe. Don't forget that. Try not to hate me. We're almost done with the hard stuff. And release, downward facing dog. Let's move through a vinyasa. Just for fun, come forward to plank, shoulders a little bit past the wrist, knees down. Before we do that, let's just crank out a couple more push-ups, but tricep push-ups. Okay, you guys, we have to work a little bit fast because we're trying to fit a decent amount of stuff in 30 minutes, all right? So the shoulders are a little bit past the wrist. The elbows are going to point back. Try to keep the shoulders plugged in, elbows back. So you don't even have to go to 90 degrees. That was like 3, 4, 5. Let's do 7. I don't know where I came up with that number, but it just sounds good. It feels good in the moment. And then downward facing dog or sit back into Vajrasana. And we'll do a final vinyasa here in a moment. Just take a couple breaths though to rest. Because it's really important that we're not just trying to, I'm just going to get through this vinyasa. Okay, that's not what it's about. It's really about moving through with good form. Okay, so now come back to your plank. Before we move through our final vinyasa, I'm actually going to have you lay all the way down onto your belly. Okay, now from here, have the elbows directly under the shoulders and interlace your fingers. Okay, so elbows are not out, they're directly under the shoulders. Now, instead of letting the chest cave down, push into the elbows and kind of wrap the shoulders. See how I did that? So instead of here, push into the elbows and really wrap the shoulders, securing them in, squeezing them into the joints. Curl the toes under and then lift the belly up so that you're just on the knees. I call this a modified plank because we're modifying it by being on the knees and we're modifying it by being on the elbows or the forearms. So if you can see, I'm again pretty much parallel to the ground with my torso from the tip of my tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. Stay there or lift the feet. Navel towards the spine, breathe. So the booty's not lifted, belly's not hanging down. Try to be parallel to the ground as much as possible with the upper body. Just hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't lay down. Walk the feet in. Let the head hang. Push, push, push into the elbows. You can Bend the knees, push into the elbows, sending the hips up and back. So you're in like a downward facing dog, but it's on the forearms. So dolphin pose. Hold it for 5. Oh, I'm feeling it in those shoulders. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower back to your modified plank. And then release. Lay all the way down. Bring your arms by your sides and just rest on one cheek for a couple breaths. I promised one more vinyasa, and I don't want you to be mad at me for not doing it, so we better do it now, okay? So push yourself up, back to your plank. Let's make this one the best one yet, even though I know you're the most tired from today, but let's do it anyway. Let's make it the best. Inhale, push forward slow. Knees down. Exhale, lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, cobra. Every movement takes about 4 counts. Exhale, lower down. Even pushing up takes 4 counts. Don't use momentum. Push up in a straight line. Maybe lift your belly first for some bonus points. Inhale, push up. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, down dog. 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, come down to the hands and knees. Uncurl the toes, sit back on the heels. Just coming into Vajrasana again, and I really like to use Dhyana Mudra. So have your left hand under and your right hand on top. Palms open, thumbs touch. Relax the shoulders, chin parallel to the ground. Close your eyes if that feels good. Let's just focus on slowing down the breath, just allowing everything to slow on down. Here, we're going to go into Yoga Mudra. If this is not feeling great on your knees, you can always do it, I call this like a candlestick or standing tall on your knees. Interlace your fingers behind your back, do a big shoulder roll, and then start to pull the arms away from your back. What we don't want to do is dump. So we don't want to like dump into the back in order to grab the bind or jut the chin out. My dog just let himself out. So lengthen your tailbone down and lift your entire rib cage up. And then pull the arms away from the back without jutting everything forward. Breathe here. All right, and then you can release that, sit back down. So now I'm gonna give you the option to do that again, or we're gonna add on to that. I'm gonna have you switch the grip. Okay, so you're just gonna move it one finger down, and then I'm gonna give you the option to go into rabbit pose, okay? So if you don't know what rabbit pose is, just watch me first, and then I'm gonna talk you through it. So basically, I like to lay the belly down to the ground, bring the crown of the head, roll onto the crown of the head, and then you lift your arms overhead. Okay, you definitely don't have to do that. You can just do, again, interlace the hands, come here, or you can sit back and do it from there, okay? Otherwise, I'm gonna talk you through rabbit pose. So interlace your hands behind your back in your non-dominant way. Do a big shoulder roll. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to lay your belly down onto your lap. Then bring the forehead to the mat, and then start to lift the hips and round onto the crown of the head. Try to keep most of the weight here, like at least 95% of the weight is in the knees and the legs. Only the top of the head is just touching, just barely touching. Lift the arms off of the back. Okay, very slowly release. And let's come into a modified child's pose. So bring your knees as wide as your mat, big toes can touch. Just let your elbows rest out to the side, forehead come down to the mat. Take some deep cleansing breaths. Again, slowing down. And then you can push up to the hands and knees, bring your knees back towards center and lower all the way down to the belly. Now keep your right elbow bent in so your right hand is by your chest, kind of like you're getting ready to go into cobra. Bring your left hand out to the side in a T. From that T, walk the hand forward just like 2 inches. That's it, just a couple inches. Okay, so you're bending your right elbow in, push into your right hand and open up the chest. Maybe stack the hips. Your left side of the head is on the ground. If that feels good, you can always bend the top knee and place the foot behind. Breathe here. We're looking to feel a stretch here in the left arm, like the shoulder, the chest muscle maybe. Okay, come back to the belly, and then we're gonna switch it out. I'm gonna turn this way. Okay, so right arm out, walk it forward just a couple inches, bend your left elbow in, and then open up, stack the hips. Right side of the head is down. Relax the forehead, relax the jaw. And release. Come back to the belly, bring your hands beside your chest, curl the toes under, push yourself up to your hands and knees. And now again, you can come to seated, back onto your heels. If this pose is not feeling good for you, you can swing your feet around and come to an easy seated pose, okay? And then we're gonna move into one more shoulder stretch. So from here, again, you can stay seated like that or swing the legs around. I'm just turning away from you so that you can see what I'm doing behind me. So bring your right arm up and then bend the elbow. Just let the hand start to go down the spine. And then with your left hand, you can take that right elbow and just kind of gently draw it in towards the midline. Okay, pushing your right hand down the spine a little bit more. What we're not doing again is we're not rounding, we're not jutting. Stay up tall. Okay, don't arch the back. And breathe here. And then release. Do a couple shoulder rolls, move your head around. Other side, left arm up, bend the elbow, hand is coming down the spine. Grab the elbow with the right hand and start to push the hand gently down the spine. Not to where you feel pain, just to where you feel sensation. And release. Again, move your arms around however it feels good. Do a couple shoulder rolls. All right, now arms out. We're gonna do one more stretch here. Arms out, let's inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, cross your left arm over the right. Now, you could either just hold on to your shoulders like this, or you're gonna start to bring the backs of the forearms and backs of the hands together. Lift the elbows up, push the wrist forward. Maybe for some of you, you might even be able to twirl it around one more time and bring the palms together to touch, but please don't stress out about it, okay? Don't stress out about it. We're just trying to feel sensation here in the shoulder blades to stretch out after all the work you just did. And release, reach the arms out and down. Do a couple shoulder rolls again, move the head around and arms up, inhale. Exhale, cross the right arm over the left. Hold on to the shoulders or backs of the hands and backs of the forearms together, or maybe the palms touch. Lift the elbows up, push the wrists forward a little bit so that they're above the elbows, and breathe. Release, reach them out and down. Again, do a couple shoulder rolls. Move your head around. Maybe do one at a time. Awesome. All right, let's lay back and have a nice little Shavasana to kind of wrap everything up that we just did. Please don't skip this part. It is the most important part of the practice. I'm sure you've heard that before, but just give yourself this moment to let everything you just did really assimilate and sink in, body, mind, and spirit, but just ultimately let yourself rest, slow down, get off the hamster wheel. Especially those of you that are type A, I'm talking to you because I am too, okay? So we have to take these moments to rest. We don't want to burn the candle from both ends. Just slow down the breath. Feel free to take some cleansing breaths, eyes closed. Completely let the body relax. The feet are about as wide as the mat, just falling out to the sides or wherever they fall naturally. Hands are a little bit wider than the mat, palms facing up. And start deepening your breath. Again, maybe a cleansing sigh. I know it might feel weird, but just do it. It feels really good. In through the nose, out through the mouth on a sigh. Good. And then reach your arms overhead, feet in the opposite direction, full body stretch, maybe arch your back a little bit. Bend your knees, slowly roll onto your right hand side using your right arm for a pillow. Take a couple breaths there. And with the strength of your arms, slowly push yourself up to seated. Let your head be the last thing to come up, eyes closed if that's all right for you. Again, coming into whatever cross-legged pose feels good for you. Pull the flesh away from the sitting bones so that your pelvis is neutral, spine is long. Let's have the palms open on the knees. Eyes closed, chin parallel to the ground. Relax the forehead, relax the jaw. Notice how you're feeling after your practice today. And circle your hands together in front of your heart into prayer. Just connecting the palms together helps to bring balance to your physical, emotional, mental selves by connecting the left and right hemispheres of the brain. So just take a moment to feel that connection, feel that balance, and also use this time to thank yourself for coming to your mat today, for taking this time out today for you to slow down and to get present and to connect to yourself. The energy within me acknowledges the energy within you, and I thank you all so much for letting me guide you through your practice today. Have a great day, yogi. Namaste. And as it feels good, you can open your eyes. I would love to know in the comments how you feel right now, and if those poses were kind of challenging for you, because I didn't realize really how challenging they were for me, especially whenever you put them all together. So make sure to give the video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what you thought. Have a great day.